The covert narcissist, non-verbal hostility. They have a way of being hostile towards you without you being able to fully pick up on what's happening. It's just irritating or offensive, or it just triggers those instincts. But if you question them, they play the victim and you're the one that feels bad. You're the one that feels ashamed. Now, when it comes to the narcissist non-verbal hostility, it can be something as simple as their tone of voice, how they mock you through their tone. Now, when you're dealing with a narcissistic individual and you've figured them out, you can find out that your tone isn't the most pleasant of tone around them. With a narcissistic person, because they perceive themselves to be superior and you to be inferior, it often comes out in their tone of voice. If it doesn't come out in their tone of voice, it can come out with those eye rolls when you try to communicate with them about something you've achieved, because they're envious of you and they just sort of roll their eyes with that disinterest. Stop talking, because they're not interested. They're offended that you've achieved something. They're envious. They're looking to devalue you and make you feel like you're worth less than you are. Similar to if you try to discuss a different opinion to theirs and they just roll their eyes at you. People are capable of doing this who are non-narcissistic. With narcissistic people, if they use non-verbal hostility, it's a pattern of behaviour, it's who they are as a person. It's when they just sigh when you say something. So you can be mid-conversation and they just sigh like you're boring them, like you're not worth their time. Or if you go to try and discuss something that they've done to you where they know they've got one over on you, they've got one better than you, it's that little smirk on their face that you'd like to wipe clean off, where for a moment on the outside they are revealing their true feelings on the inside. When they've got one over on you and they believe they're winning the game. Another one is their incredible sulk. Now, you'll often notice not all toddlers, but toddlers can sulk when they're not getting their own way. They're learning, they're developing, they're growing. Teenagers can be very, very sulky when they're not happy. They've got hormones coming in from all over. They've got so many outside situations. They're going through a massive growth and development stage of their life, leading to many a teenager to sulk. Now, yes, although sulking can be narcissistic behaviour, it can also be that of a toddler. Teenage behaviour. It doesn't necessarily make them a narcissistic person, as many toddlers, many teenagers will learn and grow and develop through that stage of their life. Somehow narcissistic individuals get stuck in that toddler stage, that teenage stage, and they become a grown adult, a grown man, a grown woman that will sit there and sulk because you dared to say no to them. You dared to stand up to them. They didn't get their own way. You didn't quite make their meal right. You didn't compliment them on what they were wearing. And a narcissistic individual with their incredible sulk, they can sulk just at you and be the life and the soul with everybody around you, or they can sulk at everybody. They can sit there staring blankly at their phone, staring out of the window, not communicating with people, getting everyone to pander to them and make sure that they're okay. And often you have no clue as to what drove them into the sulk in the first place. With a toddler, with a teenager, you can know that you said no to them having a toddler, you said no to them having a piece of chocolate before their dinner, and they're sulking. You know what started it off. You know the reason why. You can explain things to them. With a narcissistic individual, it can be something you said 3 weeks ago that they've just remembered. And you've literally got no clue as to why they're sulking at you. So you're walking on eggshells around them. You're trying to cheer them up. And they're getting all the validation and attention they believe that they need. Now, yes, non-verbal hostility is when it's not communicated. However, with a narcissist, there's also that where they will, mid-discussion, mid-argument, once they've said their point, they will walk off sort of humming and singing away to themselves, which is naturally going to cause that frustration within you because you can't get across your point of view before they walk off. And they do this to get that negative reaction from you. When they're losing the argument, they say something to try and win the argument, walk off humming away to themselves to get you to react negatively to them. And then they start sulking on you and fall silent on you, which is another one. The silent treatment is that non-verbal hostility. Now, when someone has purposefully been offensive towards you, you might want to gather your thoughts. People can fall silent for a variety of reasons. Again, with a narcissist, it's that pattern of behaviour. If they fall silent on you, they will repeatedly fall silent on you when things aren't going their way. When someone gives them constructive feedback, they'll fall silent on that person. When somebody doesn't come and help them straight away, they'll fall silent on that person. When somebody stands up to them, they'll fall silent on that person. When someone catches the narcissist out in their lies, the narcissist will fall silent on that person. It's a pattern of their behaviour, and they will fall silent on their parents, on their children, on their friends, on their work colleagues. And they will sulk and they will try and make the other person feel guilty. Meanwhile, they'll pick up somebody else and love bomb somebody else while devaluing the person that they're ignoring. It's a pattern of behaviour. They will go all out to withhold attention, affection and support. Not only do they withhold it, to begin with, they shower you with that attention, affection and support. So you become dependent on them, not recognising what they're doing. Because we can all want to give people affection. We can all want to support people, help people, validate people. Narcissistic people, don't they want you to support, help and validate them? Every action is a transaction when it comes to a narcissist. So they will come on strong with that attention, affection and support to somebody they're love bombing, while they're devaluing another one, while they're sulking and falling silent on somebody else. And when the person they're love bombing offends them, they'll fall silent and sulk and smirk at that person and come on strong with the attention, affection and support to the person they were just ignoring. They have that passive aggressive sabotage where they seem like they're well-meaning, yet it never works out that way, and then they just claim that they were trying to help. They will go around and hide your things, make you late, and then help you look for them, and then expect eternal praise and gratitude that they found them too late, while they accuse you of hiding their things that you've not even touched. And this is because what they are capable of within themselves. A narcissist's unjust accusations are often their confessions. So they will misplace something and they will blame you, and when you know you've not touched it, it's because they've misplaced it. Yet when something of yours goes missing and you know you left it there, you always leave it there, you're accusing them because usually they're the kind of person that will happily take your stuff, not because you take their stuff. They can be incredibly forgetful. Now, when you've been around a narcissistic person, your memory might not be the best and you can become forgetful. However, you're usually apologetic. You usually try to make it up to the person. With a narcissist, they'll promise to pick something up, they'll forget, they'll come home, you can ask them, and they'll be, you forgot to remind me. Whereas you might forget something and walk in and go, oh, yeah, I did. Do you need it now? I'll go and get it now. Or I can get it tomorrow. Or you try and make it up to the person. With a narcissist, they blame you. You're the one that forgot to remind me. However, you can't win with them because the next time when you're like, aha, they forgot last time, I'll just send them a quick message and let them know. I'm not a child. You don't have to remind me. I didn't bring it because you would treat me like a child. You cannot rely or depend on narcissistic people. They'll make you feel like you can, and then they take it away from you. They play the martyr of how amazing they are and how helpful they are, yet in a self-sacrificing sort of way, so that people feel sorry for them. They're full on with those broken promises. They will make a promise and then break the promise and find a way to excuse or justify their broken promises. Narcissistic parents are very apt at this with their children, when they're love bombing their child and they're doing so much with them and promising them stuff in the future, and then somebody else comes along that they can love bomb, and they drop the child and ignore the child, and then they find a way to blame the child as to why the narcissistic parent failed to follow through on the promises that they made. And they are repeated broken promises. They go all out to deny all knowledge, to gaslight, like they never made the broken promise in the first place. There's lots of non-verbal hostility that a narcissistic individual can display. And you are going to naturally just feel awful around them and confused about who you are as a person and who they are and what you've done wrong and what you can do to make it work with them. These are the kinds of people you want to be avoiding in life. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments for people reading through. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. I do also have several books out on Amazon, a Narcissist Handbook, which is the ultimate guide to understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, 15 rules to deal with narcissistic people if you cannot go no contact, and how to create physical, psychological and emotional boundaries around those who have no respect for your boundaries. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.